And we're on. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with an interview today. We got the head coach of the Wallace State Lions women's basketball, Jessica McBrayer, if
Mhm.
I'm saying that right.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, Coach, it's been obviously a pretty good season for you guys. You've won 5 of your last 6 games. You had a victory Monday night with Enterprise State, 110-44, a really good win. I was at that game, and I saw pure domination from your girls. And how do you build off a win like that, and ultimately, how can it help the team going forward?
Yeah, we've struggled a little bit this year offensively. We're kind of hit and miss. Either it's on or it's off, and we just haven't had collectively a great offensive game until Monday night. So we talked about that moving into the next couple practices, having that confidence to know that we are capable of scoring like that and playing that kind of style that we want to play. So we hope to be able to, we played last night. We struggled offensively. So we're definitely going to dive into the weekend after our game tomorrow, kind of look at both of those films, understand kind of what the difference was in it. So we can make sure moving forward, we know all the small things we need to be doing offensively to have nights like we had Monday night throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was also going to bring up last night's game. I didn't attend it, unfortunately, because of church, but 85-42, obviously not the way you want to have a game. How do you respond after a loss like that?
Well, we just finished up practice about an hour ago, and I felt like our girls really did respond the way I was hoping they would. That we had a tough loss last night, not one that we expected at all. We felt like we were really prepared and ready to play, and we just did not show that on the floor. So today at practice, we made a couple of little adjustments, talked about some things, but the girls came out and didn't hang their heads or pout. We were more vocal today than we have been in a couple weeks. We were more affectionate with each other, more high fives, more accountability. So I felt like we responded great tonight, the way we really needed to, or today when we practiced. So I'm hoping a game like this, it's not one you want to be in,
I think we
especially
lost her. I'm not sure.
do what.
There we go. I think you're back now. What were you saying? I think it got off.
The game we played last night is not a fun game, and it's not one we hope to ever be on the losing side of. But if we learn something from it and we grow from it, that's the response we need. We still got a long season to go. We've got more opportunities to play that team again, and I do feel like we responded well. And I'm excited to see what we do tomorrow night at Bishop.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to that game. Hope you guys get the victory. What would you say has been the key mindset or focus for this team, whether it be every game, or is there like a word or something that sticks out that you want your team to have a mindset or focus on for this season?
From the beginning, one of our biggest things is just effort. As long as you're giving effort at practice, you're going to get better. As long as you're giving effort in a game, good things are going to come. You make a mistake, you just got to move straight on from it. You got to go down there and do something to kind of make up that mistake. So effort's really been one of them right now. Accountability is kind of our word. We talk about it almost every single day, from the coaches holding the kids accountable to each other, each player holding each other accountable. Because at the very end of the game, it's up to the girls when they get on the floor. Practices, it's time to coach and it's time to teach, but in a game, it's really on them, and we've really been trying to push for them to hold each other accountable while they're on the floor together. When there's not opportunities for the coaches to speak up, for them to be doing it. So, effort and accountability has probably been our two biggest words this season.
That's awesome. I am curious. I'm glad that we got to talk this week, and you said that I could bring up a player name. I did look at some stats and talk to me about a player number 3, Jasmine Jackson, who leads your team in scoring now. What has she meant to the program, and how has she been a leader for your team?
Yeah, Jazz played a lot of minutes last year as a freshman when we only had like 7 or 8 players. We kind of had a weird year, so all these sophomores had an opportunity to get a lot of minutes last year. So she does bring that sense of maturity and what's expected day in and day respected on the floor. And we've talked to her a little bit. It's so funny she's our leading scorer because scoring is not really what she wants to do. She'll come here and tell you meetings. I want to get more assists the rest of the year. I want to take more charges in our next couple games. And we've told her she needed to score more, but she's a momentum scorer. She likes to score when we need a shot, when we need to change momentum. She likes to step up and make those, which she does. She did some last night. We just kind of couldn't keep it rolling. But Jazz just kind of does a little bit on both sides of the floor for us. She defends well. She takes charges. She'll get in there and fight for rebounds, as well as go down and knock down her shot. I think she's shooting over 40% from the field. She probably just needs to shoot a little bit more. But yeah, we wouldn't be where we're at or do what we do without Jasmine Jackson up top for us.
Yeah, absolutely. We're having an interview with Coach McBrayer of Wallace State, the women's basketball team, having a great season so far. I'm curious, there's always a starting point. What got you into basketball? It's one thing to get into a sport, but then ultimately, what got you into coaching?
Okay, let me make sure I heard you. You're breaking up. What got me into coaching? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and even into the sport of basketball.
Cool. So I started playing basketball when I was like 7. My brother, who's 3 years older than me, played, and we picked up and played outside, a lot of neighborhood basketball. So I've loved the sport since I was a little girl. I knew school coaching was what I wanted. I really wanted to be a high school teacher and a high school coach. I never in a million years thought about coaching college basketball. So this was definitely not on my radar as far as the level of coaching, but I always knew I wanted to be a coach. So my family's just been around it. We love sports. My brother played baseball at Montevallo in college. My mom played church league softball, coached me in softball my whole life. My daddy coached me in basketball. So we just love athletics. We're an athletics family. And so just being around the sport is it's comforting. It's something I know and something I love. Very fortunate to be able to do what I get to do. So it started at a very young age. I was always a leader on my teams. I was probably always a better coach and a leader than I actually was a player. So I just kind of felt like probably always my calling a little bit.
Yeah, I've always kind of been competitive myself. I played a little bit of basketball, wasn't good at it, but um, played some baseball too, some soccer. Sports has always, really been my thing. Um, I'm curious also because I follow college athletics, but not so much the side of like where Wallace is at the junior college or the community college level. I'm curious what it's like. Obviously, it's high school, but what's the recruiting like for a smaller school like Wallace State?
So for recruiting, we don't go out of state very often for on the women's side. Our men's team does a lot more than we do. A lot of junior college recruiting is it's connections. It's knowing coaches at other colleges. It's knowing a lot of times I find kids because other coaches will send them to me. They'll shoot me a text or give me a call and say, "Hey, I have this kid, come check her out." So a lot of times that happens. A lot of times it's, a lot of high school tournaments, Thanksgiving, Christmas tournaments where you can sit down and you can see a lot of games at one time. We like to stay local as much as we possibly can and check out these teams that are right here in our area. So a lot of it, it's just also building relationships. We get a kid from a certain, he was well coached and did such a great job. We're going to go back and watch that school again later. So a lot of it's reputation from who we've had and what they've been able to do, and a lot of connections.
Do you get a lot of kids from Coleman usually?
Um, we got Jaden Winfrey on our team this year, who graduated from Coleman last year. She was a freshman. I think since I've been a head coach here, that's been our first Coleman kid. We've had a couple from Fairview over the years, the Golden Sisters. We've got one, she's Blount County, but Susan Moore, it's pretty close. So it just kind of depends on year to year if we're able to stay in the county or Morgan County, Blount County, kind of around here.
Yeah. And then really, I only got one more question left, but you do have a game coming up, I believe, tomorrow with Bishop State on the road.
We do.
So as you get ready for a pretty good road game, I've seen Bishop State play us at home, pretty good team. What would you like to see from your girls in that game tomorrow, and then ultimately just going forward in the season?
Tomorrow, I want to see a lot of energy. I want to see a great bounce back. I want to see team energy. I want to see bench energy. I want to see a lot of communication. Just kind of find our spirit again as far as the intangibles, the things that, we know we can actually control, not the skill stuff. As far as skill sets, rebounding, we did a terrible job of that last night. I mean, it was not good. So we actually did a lot of rebounding drills today. So I would like to see us just getting in there, getting possessions, and working hard on the defensive end. And that's what we need the rest of the year moving forward. Our offense is kind of hit and miss sometimes. Defense, we can control. We can get after it. We need to hold teams under 50, 55 points every single night. So that will definitely be a point of emphasis for us moving forward.
Absolutely, Coach. Thanks so much for doing this. I look forward to going to more games this season, and good luck tomorrow night and the rest of the year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Awesome.